How's it going, everybody? MyCupOfTea here, back in a reaction video, and it's finally time to get back to watching the Pokemon Anime review series by Lumino's trainer Zach. Actually, no, it's not. He changed his name because I was actually shocked when I was going to find the videos again. I'm like, wait, something happened to Lumino's trainer Zach? No, he changed his name to Satoshi. Is that what it is? The Greninja Ash phenomenon thing. I think he changed. Yeah, he changed it to that. And so yeah, new name change, but still. Well, still same guy. Now, today is gonna be a long video because we're gonna be watching Pokemon Sun and Moon anime review, which I believe is when the art style took like a weird change. Not like bad, just like, oh, okay, that stands out. Because when I saw like some A and B battles with, from this series, I'm like, is that Ash? Why does he look like that? He looks weird. Is that the same Ash that I know? But yeah, I don't know too much about it because I don't know if you watched a lot of A and B battles from this series, so let's watch it. Let me stop talking because, again, it's already 47 minutes long, and it's going to be a long reaction. So grab some snacks, grab some drinks whenever you're watching this, and let's get it. I got some water. Stay hydrated. Alright. I basically know nothing about this series. Except for that Ash finally won
Pokemon Anime
a major tournament.
In this video, we're going over the 6th anime
first
series,
ever.
Pokemon Sun and Moon. This is probably the most controversial series next to Black and White, and it's because of the huge shift in tone and art style. Because of this, many people hated or still hate the Sun and Moon anime. But is it really warranted?
Dang.
Does the change in direction really make this the worst Pokemon series, or is it actually a great series?
I just remember a battle from this
fight,
episode, this series. Never mind. I remember some stuff now.
Joining me today are Trayman 1, TSS, and Entity Maze. Joining me today are Trayman 1, TSS, and Entity Maze.
Alright, what's up, guys?
Alola, everyone. Trayman 1 here.
Hi, folks. This is TSS Killer from PocketMonsters.net and the Pokepod.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Entity here.
Just like the last couple of reviews, we'll be going over a list of topics from the series, going over both the good and the bad, and then wrapping things up.
There must be a lot they had to say with this series because it's like 47 minutes long, the longest
started with
in the review
series
of the
Pokemon Sun and Moon anime.
Let's get it.
Let's go.
Let's get it. Hawaii. I think they're in Hawaii, right? Also, I'm still playing this game called Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I'm almost done with it, having a great time. Also set in Hawaii. I like Hawaii now. I like Hawaii.
As always, we gotta start out with our main man, Ash. Now, at first glance, it might seem like Ash has lost his experience from XY, but this is a huge misconception. Although Alola didn't have as many battles as Kalos, Ash is still the experienced trainer from the previous series. The big difference, however, is the setting. Since Ash isn't really traveling in this series, he isn't in such a hurry for the next big battle. This has allowed him to take things easy, get to know the new environment, and fall in love with Alola's culture. This is one of my favorite things about this.
It's what Aloha be doing to that island
Ash has made such
culture.
strong friendships with his classmates, was part of Kukui and Burnett's family, and considered Alola as his second home. It's very wholesome. With him being so ingrained into the lifestyle and culture of Alola, it only makes sense that this is the region where he finally wins a Pokemon League. Well, that and the fan outrage after losing the college league.
Oh, boss, Chicago, come back to me.
What the heck? What are you doing here? You already had your video. Anyways, going back to Ash and his experience, although he does have his usual epic battle moments, I do understand why some might think that this is a reset once again. I mean, look at him. The new art style, along with the comedic tone of the series, really makes this feel like a different version of Ash. This is without a doubt the most controversial aspect of the series, so this definitely needs to be addressed right away. And TSS just so happens to be the right guy for the job.
It for us.
It would be my pleasure, Zach. Sun and Moon was the first series since Advanced Generation to go back to a traditional 24 frames per second. Gone were the buttery smooth panning shots and fluid CG animated effects that variable frame rate would offer. While this series excelled in the battle animation department, corners were cut in a way where the rest of the presentation suffered. For one, Satoshi's design, especially at the beginning of the series, was a massive departure from his previous designs. It looked like somebody put his face in a toaster oven for 20 minutes. It was very jarring to look at. What also was jarring was the quality of the background scenes and characters, which in and of itself brings a slew of questions. Why do Satoshi and Pikachu have no faces? Why does Kiawe's neck look elastic? Why does Satoshi look like a stick figure? Why does Meowth look like he was drawn by a 5-year-old?
Okay, that looks kind of funny. But
how? What? Why? And it doesn't stop there. Another major change was the decision to make this a comedy-oriented series. I'm a firm believer that this was a knee-jerk reaction to Yokai Watch, a series that was designed to be a comedy from the ground up.
I think
Don't
I heard
believe
about that
me?
before.
Watch how both of them handle comedic delivery. Even Pose had a dance sequence that was in similar vein to Yokai Exercise number 1. However, Sun and Moon ultimately failed in the comedy department because their style was too forced. Most of those sequences were initiated by Satoshi, who looked like he was on certain substances.
Yeah, you can't have forced comedy in your animes, especially if you're not like built off a comedy anime. Like Pokemon wasn't like built from comedy; it was like built like kind of like some jokey stuff, but more like, all right, Pokemon battling each other. We gotta. It's like semi-serious, sometimes serious, you know. Nah, you can't force the comedy. That's like the worst type of comedy. Force. Can't force it.
The rest of the cast tried to get quick laughs by overreacting to situations, which in all honesty, weren't funny. They were off-putting and out of place. Thankfully, by the beginning of the third year, they realized this wasn't working and reduced the reactions that we'd see on screen.
That's good.
Not before I had to witness Meltachu in person.
Meltachu.
Before I lose any more brain cells, we're next going to talk about Satoshi's Pokemon.
Okay, let me hear about it. Oh, was it
Let's
bad?
go.
You thought we were going to an ad.
Like when I was
Let me talk. Let me think. Cause I've seen some battles. I know he has Pikachu. I know he has like that. Not that wolf Pokemon. It was. I don't know what it's called. I know when I see it, I know it. He had that. Wow, I'm drawing a blank. I don't know what else he had. Oh shoot. What else did he have? I watched. Hey, wow. Okay, interesting. I don't know what else he had. Oh no. Oh god. What else did he have? And we're back. Sorry about that. I did too much.
Jesus.
Let's go.
Okay, what do you have?
What exactly makes Roller a god in the eyes of our community? Well, despite being a small, unevolved bird, Roller surprisingly took many wins to his name.
Okay.
Some of which included fully
Wait,
evolved
Surfetch,
Pokemon,
right? Surfetch was
which
in
was
here.
always a spectacle to watch. However, it's not like these wins weren't warranted though, as Roller had quite a few good training segments
Pokemon
and
going in.
entire episodes dedicated to gaining
Yeah, that
development.
wolf thing in the background.
To top off this
Okay.
bird, he also has such a cute personality that we all can't help but aww. The sleeping is relatable too. The only downside to Rowler is they pretty much did nothing within
Rowler?
Season 2 except learn a new move abruptly. But let's be real, he was just storing his power to absolutely obliterate everybody within sight in Season
How strong
3,
is this Pokemon?
especially the Decidueye. Who's
RP
mad?
to-
Now it's time to talk about Axel Rockdog.
That's the one. All
This
right.
capture was one of the most surprising, as we all thought Rockruff belonged to Professor Kukui. Its Berserk mode was handled pretty interestingly, as many thought it was overreacting from getting dirty. However,
Dirty.
Lycanroc was actually being prideful because of his one-of-a-kind form. Thankfully, while training with Tapu Bulu, Ash helped him realize that even though its appearance changed, it's still the same lovable Rockruff from before. This Pokemon is definitely one of Ash's powerhouses, being able to defeat Olivia's
Oh my
Lycanroc
gosh.
as a Rockruff,
Oh, goodness.
3 of Nanu's Pokemon by
Not the
himself,
crocodile I think I
and most
saw.
importantly, being the Pokemon that won Ash the Alola League.
Yeah, we saw that. That was nice.
Proceeding Lycanroc is probably one of my favorite
Lycanroc?
captures ever.
Okay.
Incineroar. Why?
Oh,
well,
yeah,
the build-up to
Incineroar.
Ash capturing this Pokemon was just so wholesome after the heartbreaking loss of its mentor,
Wait, no, I don't think he has Surfetch. My fault. I don't think he has Surfetch in this one.
Stoutland. Litten, looking to get stronger with a new master. And it most certainly did. It had astounding battles and astonishing episodes.
Okay,
dedicated
sounds
to
good so far as
training.
roster, sounds
Especially
good.
episode 63, where it gained Kukui's Incineroar as a rival and evolved into Torracat. Such a magnificent episode. And it all paid off nicely when Torracat managed to finally get the upper hand on Incineroar within the league, refusing to evolve further until that happened in
Oh yeah, I think we saw that
What
too.
a
Yeah,
shine.
this fight. Yeah,
So
yeah.
because of all of this staggering build-up, Incineroar was an
Then he
extremely
evolved there, yep,
fulfilling
yep.
Pokemon. Just wish we got to see it in a grand trial, to be honest.
Next up is Ash's first legendary-like Pokemon, Naganadel. Yes,
What?
Ultra Beasts count as legendaries. Poiple was great,
Okay.
as this story involved it learning about the world and what it means to be a family through living with Ash.
I don't remember
It
that
would often
Pokemon at
express
all.
how much it loved his Alola family with his painting skills. These
Okay.
comments then came in handy when explaining that it was sent here on a mission to help save its dying world. Its
Oh.
return as a Naganadel, while it felt kinda random, was also extremely cool as it showed the results of the Necrozma arc, made it stronger to protect its world from future threats. Along with
Oh, is that Pokemon that like eats things like that Ultra? Was it Ultra Pokemon? Ultra? I forgot the type of Pokemon. We watched like a whole battle royale about that. Is that the one? Like it just eats stuff and it sent it back to a dimension, I guess.
it now knowing Thunderbolt, a move that was inspired by Pikachu.
Hey.
Following Ash's first legendary Pokemon is Ash's first mythical Pokemon.
Ah, the
Melmetal.
mythical one.
Despite
Melmetal.
being
Okay, I
caught
remember
quite late
that.
into the series, Melmetal had decent feats in battles. Nor was he ever plot armored to make Ash stronger like people suspected at first, as he did end up struggling,
Dang,
especially
dang,
as a
dang,
mountain,
dang,
and got
let him go.
defeated quite a few times. At the end of the day, he's just an honorable battler. But I'm pretty sure we can all agree that what makes Melmetal stick with us is his joyful and reckless personality.
Okay.
It was hella cute. And speaking of cute, so was his bond with Ash's Rowlet, who was a sort of mentor
That's nice.
for it.
I don't know why they think this roster's kind of meh. Roster seems
Last
cool.
but certainly not least, we have the sparking ace, Pikachu. While at first many people were upset with this change, Electro showed to be much more versatile than Electro Ball, as it can be used as an attack, a shield, and so much more. The first grand trial showed that Pikachu was not reset, as he excelled with many amazing new strategies.
Let's go.
Pikachu also had a huge winning streak in this series, with his first loss
Misty, right?
episode 100 to a freaking Zero, or my gosh. His only other loss after this fight are against Hapu's Golurk and tying with Gladion Zoroark after defeating the legendary Savalai, of course.
Oh, did they just win on a winning
also
record?
shined due to it having two rivals in the series, being none other than Mimikyu and Tapu Koko.
Tapu
We get
Koko.
many battles
That's
between
like one of the
Ash
gods,
and
right?
Tapu Koko, with each battle having some indication that Ash's Z move is powering up and foreshadowing the Pikachu Z. Pikachu
Oh, is this when the Z moves got into the series? Sun and Moon. That's when he got Z moves.
His final fight with Tapu Koko wraps up his development.
It was a hype fight. That was a hype fight.
And Ash can finally utilize the power that Tapu Koko has been trying to bring out in an epic clash and come out victorious in the end. Also, can I mention my boy Pikachu finally got him a little girlfriend in the series too. My boy is smooth with the legs.
Now that we're done with Ash and his Pokemon, let's move on to all the other wonderful characters this series had to offer.
Alright, let's
the
hear about
best,
it.
in my opinion, Suffolk. No, it's Lily. From the very beginning, I became alert to Lily's character quite quickly for two simple reasons. Firstly, her innocent, clumsy, kind-hearted, and adorable personality was always such a joy to watch. Let's continue on into later seasons as well. And secondly, of course, I was fascinated by the mystery surrounding her of why she cannot touch Pokemon. This was something completely different from her character in the games, and only made her stand out significantly from the other companions due to how unique and intriguing this
Get it off of me!
In fact, I speculated quite a bit of what could have happened in Lily's past, along with many other fans. It was fun, and the build-up of watching
I'll be scared of Pikachu, you know. I seen early Pikachu just Thunderbolt and Ash, you know, I'll be scared too. It's okay, Lily. I'll be scared too. I know it's a different Pikachu now.
Her fear by touching a new Pokemon in various episodes was remarkable and heartwarming stuff. Especially when she received
for the Pokemon, her Pokemon.
Oh my god. When this mystery was finally revealed, that being that she was almost abducted by an alien Pokemon at a very young age, was just by far one of the most dark, shocking, yet exciting
Alright, I
scenes
see why you
ever
be scared.
witnessed from
I see why you be scared of
anime,
Pokemon.
And I couldn't help but feel incredibly sorry for her. She sustained
Almost got
PTSD
smashed.
because of this such terrifying experience. Just the raw emotion from that flashback shows how traumatic this was for
That's a villain story right there. That's a villain story.
Afterwards, to
Arc
see
story.
Lily overcome this trauma by regaining the strength to touch every single Pokemon once again was such a fulfilling conclusion to that development arc.
Nice.
Especially the scenes received in which Lily jumps in for a hug with multiple Pokemon with a fast, bright smile on her face.
Look at her.
Like, come on, man.
Beating
that was
the trauma.
The happiest we've ever seen her.
Yeah, okay, hold on. That was like a
awesome.
mean hug. That almost hurt the
happy to see
Pokemon.
this skill finally gained the ability to do something she mourned for such a long time.
Alright.
What an emotional
This sounds like a good series so far.
After this breathtaking development, however, Lily kinda took a backseat for a while, which I do feel like kinda hurt the rest of what she had to offer. As within episode 80, it was pretty much set up that Lily would soon reveal what she wants to do for a trainer goal, as she was unsure at the moment. But because the series had to focus on so many other characters as well, no conclusion came from it. We have that setup, her receiving a Z Crystal and Z Ring to then mastering the Z move, and surprisingly placing top 16 in the Alola League.
Oh, top 16? That's good.
No goal. Instead, Ferret decided to focus on family issues once again by making a search for her father, Moan. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm definitely intrigued to see where he is, much like how I was invested in Lily's original mystery, but I do wish we got a proper conclusion as well.
Okay.
Hopefully, Journeys delivers on that, as it does seem like they will be wrapping up
Did
the
Journeys
Moan
deliver
arc
on that? I don't think it did.
But nevertheless, I still do believe the development we got to see after the Nebby arc was still spectacular anyway. Lily's proved thanks to researching, watching Ash's matches, and placing in the top 16
Top 16
that
is
she
good
can
though.
be a great battler. And not only that, but Her whole character has also taught us that we can find courage inside of us as well, even if we need to search to find it.
That's a good supporting character right there. Good supporting character.
Lesson, especially with the themes of the Sun and Moon series.
Go Sun and Moon.
As I'm in the midst of applying for residency right now.
I thought Sun and Moon was supposed to be a chill series when they first started it, like when they were talking about it. You know, Ash, taking a break in I forgot. I'm just gonna say Hawaii. I know it's not Hawaii, but I'm saying Hawaii. Supposed to be chill. All of a sudden, Lily. What's wrong with Lily? Oh yeah, she almost got kidnapped by a Pokemon when she was a kid. What? Yeah, it's really dark. Oh, okay. She's good now. She's good now. And we're back.
Next up, we have Kiawe, one of my favorite characters.
We saw him versus Brock, right?
He was introduced as the strongest trainer in the Pokemon school, and was the only one to use
somebody else.
Z-moves
Somebody else. Nah.
So naturally, he became a rival to Ash. This was interesting because this was really the first time a companion was also a rival, but it worked pretty well. Although Kiawe wasn't as major of a rival like Gladion, his competitiveness with Ash always kept him on his toes. As the strongest in the school, they would constantly battle and train with each other, which only sharpened their skills.
So they're actually in a school.
So although didn't have a lot of major battles like other series, this did show that they were constantly progressing and getting stronger. Kiawe's also got an awesome personality. He can be strict and serious when he needs to be, especially when it comes to the traditions of Alola, but also a great comic relief character as well. Although the comedy and funny faces go a bit overboard in this series, Kiawe's honestly the only character that truly makes it work in my opinion.
Gotta have a comic relief character. You gotta have
faces
one.
and reactions, and it's hilarious.
I like that. I don't know where that's from, but I like that.
Which is why he can go from being serious in one moment to bursting out with emotion in the next. Now, although Kiawe's my favorite Sun and Moon companion, or classmate if you want to be technical, that doesn't mean he's without his flaws.
Okay,
for the most part, aside from being Ash's training buddy, he doesn't really do much else, to be honest. At the end of the series, it's revealed that he wants to be a kahuna like his grandfather, and that's honestly a perfect goal for him.
Okay.
But why couldn't this be a thing in the beginning? For the entirety of the series, Kiawe's goal was pretty generic. He just wants to be a strong trainer with nothing to work towards that'll show that. What makes it even worse is the fact that although he's supposed to be Ash's rival, we don't ever get to see a full serious battle between the two.
What?
The league would have been the perfect place to do so,
I
but
want to
they
see that.
didn't.
That would be nice to have.
And when they do have one after the league, it's skipped to the ending where he's decimated by Ash.
What?
Because of that, it makes it feel like Kiawe's only purpose in the series is
nasty.
to make Ash stronger. Kinda like Farfetch'd to Riolu in Pokemon Journeys. But even if that's the case, Kiawe's still a great addition to the series in my book.
Next on the docket is Sweden, or Lana, or whatever you want to call her. She has a fondness to water Pokemon, and is portrayed as being quiet and kind. Her goal is to explore the sea from the inside of a giant water balloon.
Okay.
One of my favorite moments early in this explore the sea from the inside of a giant water balloon. One of my favorite moments early in the series was in SM5 when she brought Satoshi home with her. Her little sisters, Po and Sui, take a look at Satoshi and ask, "One-chan no boyfriend-o? Is that your boyfriend?" And her reaction was priceless. However, as the saying "there are two sides of the coin" goes, Suiren can become quite manipulative, deceiving, and downright aggressive. One example is in SM33 when she and Satoshi went to a lake to go fishing. Suiren outright states that she's going to fish a wild Mega Gyarados. Satoshi malfunctions like he had a buffer overflow, and then Suiren interjects with her catchphrase, "Usa this, that's a lie." Satoshi then disintegrates into a pile of, well...
Cocainum.
She would often exaggerate her stories just to get a reaction from her fellow classmates. This other side of her personality would bleed into the Poke Problem in next episode previews as well. Unfortunately, aside from development of Poplio, which we'll talk about later, the backstory of her friendship with Mao, and Sandy, her Eevee, Suiren's storyline was mostly thrown under the bus. I feel that she had the potential to be a star water Pokemon trainer, especially when she was given a good friendship with Kasumi, but it never came to fruition. By the way, while I'm here, I'd like to talk about that Eevee. Nagisa, or Sandy, first appeared in a post-episode segment called Eevee Doko Ikuno, or Where Are You Going, Eevee? From SM93 to SM98 as a wild Eevee with long bangs. It had a great backstory. Fast forward to SM99, where we have the penultimate meeting with Suiren. Poplio then teams up with Eevee, resulting in this cool-looking sequence where Poplio learns Surf, and even gets assistance from a Mantine that appeared in the mini-arc to make quick work out of the skulls by jumping off and using Double Edge. This inspires Suiren to catch it after finding out that it loves the sea. Then it gets a haircut and is completely shafted into a background character, making sporadic appearances until being used again in the first round of the Alola.
She kept that haircut. You should have kept it.
Let's put this into perspective. The Pokemon Company does a year-long campaign to promote Eevee leading up to the game that's predominantly featured
Let's go Eevee out about the game.
Then we have this great mini-arc in the anime around the time the game is going to be released. Then they toss all this in the garbage. What were they smoking? This is a complete disrespect to a secondary mascot character. Haruka and Serena actually did something with their EVs, and the one series that's supposed to be about family and having in-depth storytelling completely falls flat. If you want to see Eevee treated with respect during this era, check out Project Eevee. That's the true Floofmeister. I'm gonna toast some marshmallows now.
Good one, bro. Time to discuss one of my personal favorites from the series, Mallow.
How y'all feel about Mallow? I saw one battle from her, but how y'all feel about Lana? Is it Lana? I wasn't even paying attention to her name. I kept hearing the Japanese name. How you feel about her in the Eevee? You feel like Eevee got injustice in this one? Because it sounds like that Eevee got injustice. Like it wasn't, it didn't get the proper justice it should have had in the series towards the middle of it or towards the end.
Mallow.
Right, Mallow.
While Mallow didn't have the best development, her kind, warm, and motherly personality really brought the group together. Her goal always involved being the best cook in Alola, and many of her episodes show her talents. Heck, she even cooked for Tabu Koko. She was always the most responsible of the group, which was a nice foreshadow that her mom wasn't around.
It's not a god.
That she had to take on many responsibilities at an early age.
Like,
the biggest acknowledgement of this is in the Oranger episode.
I know what it is, but I don't know what it is at the same time.
Because her father is overworking her, and we get to see her release all the stress and anger after having a few shots too many with Oranguru.
Wait, is that a ape making coconut or whatever it is? Wait, who? What is it? Can it talk? Wait, is it just there? Does it have its own restaurant? Just making alcohol, whatever it's making drinks? That's wild. I'm here with it.
Stress and anger after having a few shots too many with Oranguru. When we come to learn that her mother has actually passed away, we get to see a different side of Mallow. One with so much built-up pain and regret, considering the last thing that she said to her mother before she passed was, "I hate you." My gosh,
that
Pokemon.
hurts.
Her strong connection with Serena goes way back, as this Pokemon was caught by her mother, and is even known as her little sister. Shaman was also a nice symbolism of the gratitude that Mallow and her mother shared for each other. Even paying a nice homage by having the same eyes as Mallow's mother once becoming Skyform. Although it didn't really do much. Mallow's goal goes through a really interesting change towards the end of the series as she opens up her cafeteria to serve both people and Pokemon, along with earning herself a Z-Ring. Her relationship with her best friend Lana was also extremely wholesome, with Lana encouraging Mallow to never give up and fight to the end during their Alola League match. Overall, she was just such a wholesome character all around and definitely deserved more love and recognition in the series.
Okay. So,
Ending off the roster of characters
guy.
is Sophocles and Rotomdex.
Okay,
let's start with Sophocles. Unfortunately, compared to his friends, they're just
what is Socrates? Why is that a name? Okay, sure, let's go with
much going for him whatsoever. He's just sort of there for the first 2 seasons, tempering with gadgets,
like the tech guy, the gadget guy,
jumping in with some sort of snarky comment. And even when he did have episode focuses, none of them were dedicated to his goal whatsoever.
What was his goal?
In fact, his goal wasn't even revealed until episode 67.
That's
almost
crazy.
Halfway through the entire series.
To
make matters worse, the writers decided to make his goal to become an astronaut.
What?
Yeah, it's cool and all. I love space, but like, how do you show development towards that on screen? Yes, we did get that episode where he overcame his fear of the dog, which does help towards that as, you know,
Thank you. I didn't know
that's
about that.
literally all we got. He should have really received a goal in my opinion, which we could watch on screen. It would have made him a far more interesting character. But even so, that isn't to say Sophocles didn't receive development in other areas as well.
Okay, let me
For
hear.
example, in Season 3, he earned a Z-Ring, Z-Crystal, and mastered using it to become better at battles. Whilst finally, his rude personality, which many people had a problem with, mellowed over time.
Okay, there we go. Character development.
Nice to watch at the time. Keyword, at the time. Because I still do believe it's not enough to make him memorable. I don't think I've met a single person who says Sophocles is their favorite Alola friend.
Probably never will.
At best, he's just adequate. Let's talk about Rotomdex now. The character in the community known for being, quote, annoying and boring. Yeah, I can definitely understand why people say this.
Does it just like be like, hey, this Pokemon does it like a Pokédex, but it's just like Rotom? Or is it just please don't tell me.
Thanks to this character also making snarky remarks, only really being there to register Pokemon because the game has introduced this new mechanic, and he did have a hit or miss detective gag. However, much like Sophocles, I do believe he mellowed over time, mostly after the episode where him and Ash fought. But I wouldn't say I dislike him like I used to back in the day. He's alright, and I've come to laugh at some of his moments. However, whether you like or dislike him though, I think we can all agree he definitely got robbed of being a character in Journeys, despite the excellent build-up in episode 98, where he stated he wants to travel the world with Ash after growing a stronger bond with him. Okay. That makes me sad.
Not me.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so those are the characters, right? What the heck is happening here? So those are the characters. So far, right? We get. I'm sorry, I'm still looking at this ad. What is this ad? Hold on.
Yes to fresh.
Oh, the Mentos thing? Okay. That was like throwing me. I couldn't even get my words out. I still. That baffled me. We're about to be into the next. Whoa, relax. So yeah, that was the cast. We got Lana or Lana. I was not listening. She was cool. I think the main thing that they said that was like against her was that they didn't use her that much later on in the series. Like, she did good. I think she got top 16, I think they said, in the tournament. They haven't really used her like that. People like, what was that girl's name? Wow, I'm drawing a blank. I'm gonna go back real quick. Lily, okay, Lily. People like Lily. She had a good backstory, good Pokemon, good development. Got over her fear, trauma of not being able to touch Pokemon after being almost abducted by one as a kid. Then we got Kwame, who could have been much more as a rival towards Ash, but didn't really have a goal. Like, develop. I mean, he has a goal, but it wasn't like really focused on, and he didn't really do much with Ash. Like, we haven't seen a serious fight. Then we had Malo, who was basically wants to be a chef, kind of. Open up her own restaurants. I had a little sad moment with her mom. That was okay. That came out of nowhere. I was like, dang, all right. Hit me with a left hook with that one. That reveal. And then the last two, what was it? Sophisticated. I don't know what his name was. Who was all right, and then the Rotom Dex. All right, cool. All right, those are the cast. All right, okay.
Okay, now that we're done with our main protagonist of the series, it's time for our main antagonist.
What's that antagonist?
Team Rocket. This might come as a shock, but I actually really love them in this series.
Oh,
now, of course, they still have their annoying moments, but to be fair, they appear way less often than in XY. On top of that, Sun and Moon Team Rocket gets so much development. In this series, Team Rocket do things like finally establish a secret base, inadvertently send in Alolan and Meowth to their headquarters, and their biggest accomplishment of all, master Z moves. The progression they made towards this was handled really well. From them finding out about Z moves, to getting a Z crystal of their own, to getting a Z ring from Nanu, and finally being able to use Z moves. This was all timed perfectly too, because Nanu actually makes Team Rocket be the trial Ash has to overcome before facing him. This helped make Team Rocket.
They have to mimic Chew, basically evil, not evil Pikachu right there. That's why he said that's one of Pikachu's rivals. I see.
Nanu actually makes Team Rocket be the trial Ash has to overcome before facing him. This helped make Team Rocket surprisingly relevant and vital to the story. I also love the fact that when they use Z moves, they all perform the poses together. That really wasn't necessary, but they do it because they're united. They've all worked together to reach this goal, so it only makes sense that they perform the Z move as a team. Aside from progression though, what I really like about the trio is that, like Ash, they fall in love with the region of Alola and made it a second home as well. And honestly, I think it was all thanks to Beware. What started out as them being held hostage turned into the trio's hearts melting thanks to the kindness of this strange, creepy, lovable, and abnormally overpowered bear. Probably the weirdest case of Stockholm Syndrome
I just saw that punch, dear God.
This same kind of love and kindness was even extended to their Pokemon, as these are some of the Pokemon they formed the strongest bonds with. Another thing that should be mentioned is how Team Rocket actually benefited from Sun and Moon's comedic tone. While Team Rocket went full bad in Black and White, in Sun and Moon, they go full comedic for the most part.
Oh my
God,
God,
it works really well for them, since they've always been comedic to some extent.
That is true.
The downside to them, though, is that I wish Team Rocket's progression led to a bit more, you know? It seemed like Team Rocket were building up to a big arc similar to Black and White, especially with the introduction of the Matori Matrix and the Necrozma arc. Unfortunately, it seems like the climax for them truly was the Pikachu vs Mimikyu trial. It's a shame too, as the Ultra games introduced Rainbow Rocket, so it would have been so cool to have that in the anime.
Now let's talk about the other evil team of the series, Team Skull.
I only know one person from Skull, I think.
We encountered 3 members of Team Skull known as Toop, Rap, and Zip. And let's be honest, they were basically the Alola's Team Rocket Tree.
Those are horrible
Majority
names.
of their encounters were quick matches.
Was that Garbodor?
They were basically the Alola's Team Rocket Trio. Majority
Literal trash, a literal trash Pokemon, let's go. When I saw that in a Pokemon, I think it was a gym battle, I was like, is that literal trash? That's hilarious. I love it.
Many of their encounters were quick matches where they ended up receiving a Thunderbolt or a Z move by Pikachu. Things began to get interesting, however, after the announcement of the Alola League and the introduction of Destruction in human form. It's your boy Guzma.
Guzma. Will they talk about that one fight I saw that had me like, oh dear God. Oh good heavens. Maybe they'll do when they talk about the battle. But if they do, oh man, I got some that was something. That wasn't a battle. That was something.
Guzma's story was very unique from all the other team
hear a story
bosses,
though,
as his goal wasn't to take over the world or the region. Guzma was a tragic villain who could never defeat his longtime friend Kukui or live up to the expectations of the Island Trial Challenge. His whole goal was to destroy Kukui's dream and to prove himself as the strongest in the region without the help of Z-moves. His raw strength shows throughout the entirety of the Alola League, defeating a pseudo-legendary Como, Illuma's Mega Kangaskhan as revenge for taking out the entirety of Team Skull, and Lana's Primarina.
There it is. There it is.
Z-move and all her attacks.
Right in the throat. You were singing? I don't think so. Stab you in the throat. Or choke you in the throat. You trying to sing again? Shut up. I'm like, oh dear goodness.
It's useless in battle. Plumeria notices how Guzma's obsession to destroy Kukui's dream is bringing him out of his character as he becomes more and more aggressive in battle with his Pokemon. The aggression comes in full force in the battle against Ash as he sees the same look, battle style, and determination that he once saw in Kukui through Ash. This final battle between these two was awesome, as it had many stakes for both characters.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Fell off short when it comes to winning major final battles. Guzma entered this battle with full confidence of winning, but as it goes on, we see many changes in his emotions, literally snapping at his partner Pokemon Gliscopod for doing the same thing that his character is known for, running away. It's not until he witnesses that Gliscopod's will to win by taking a Gigavolt Havoc that he realizes that he's been going about this battle all wrong and begins to go all out in the battle with Ash. This was such a beautiful conclusion to the story as we feel each character's drive.
I got some backstory behind this one. Yeah.
Which isn't a battle type of song, actually worked extremely well when setting the tone. What really got me was seeing Guzma actually crying after the battle, showing just how powerful of an effect it had on him. Surprisingly, Team Skull does not disband by the end of this either. Instead, they begin to look forward and do things in a different way in terms of being trainers. A great conclusion to their story.
The final group of characters we like to discuss are the rivals.
So there wasn't like a main honcho like, hey, we're gonna take over the world or something like that. Villain in this Sun and Moon series? Okay, I can get behind that. Let's hear about the rivals.
While not as large as other series, Sun and Moon still had some pretty notable ones. Before we get into Ash's rivals though, surprisingly, Sophocles had one of his own.
He did?
I'm serious.
But
Horatio.
Who?
There's not really much to say about this.
Horatio? Who?
Sophocles had one of his own. I'm serious. Horatio. There's not really much to say about this guy. He's a stuck-up trainer with the shiny Vikavolt. He was a welcomed addition though, as his rivalry with Sophocles aided in his development.
He's racist?
And the episodes he did appear in tend to be some of the best Sophocles episodes. Now we move on to the Ash Ketchum rivals, starting with... How? They really disrespected him in this series.
Let me hear about it.
He had so much potential, but unfortunately he only makes one appearance before the league, doesn't get any screen time during the Battle Royal, gets his win against Ash overturned by his grandfather, and is eliminated by God Rowlet. Although I enjoyed the few battles he had with Ash, he just did not get enough time to shine.
Wait, what? Hold on, time out. Can someone explain to me why the battle was overturned? Like, so Hal won, but then his father maybe he cheated, I don't know. His father overturned it, and then the God Bird showed up and won? I mean, make sure I heard that right.
Time during the Battle Royal, gets his win against Ash overturned by his grandfather, and is eliminated by God Rowlet. Although I enjoyed the few battles he had with Ash, he just did not get enough time to shine.
Yeah,
like this is a lot, when his Decidueye is a better rival than he was.
Dang.
Now Kiawe, he does count as a rival in my opinion, but I already talked about him. So next is Edgelord Gladion. He was the complete opposite of How in both personality and execution. The beginning of Sun and Moon lacked direction for Ash. This is until Gladion was introduced. Not only did he and his Lycanroc spark a rivalry for Ash and his then Rockruff, but he also inspired Ash to continue his island challenge. Then the roles are reversed after the Nebi arc, where Gladion is the one inspired to do the island challenge because of Ash. Both trainers had an influence on each other, which only made them stronger and have more respect for each other. The Nebi arc in particular played a key role in their rivalry, as Gladion didn't like that Ash was caring for an Ultra Beast, nor did he like him being involved in his family drama. But it's the love and compassion Ash learns in Alola that ultimately gets through to Gladion and allows him to accept Ash as a true friend and rival. I mean, he did help save his mom after all. And because these two played such a big role in helping each other complete their island challenge, it's only fitting that they face off in the Alola League finals in an epic doggo fight.
That does make sense.
This was a good solid rivalry. Now you might think that's it for the Sun and Moon rivals, but there's actually one more that needs to be mentioned. The Masked Royal, aka Professor Kukui. That's right.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right. Kukui is in fact a rival thanks to the rivalry of Torracat and Incineroar. Because of this, we were treated to an amazing exhibition battle during the conclusion of the Alola League. And Kukui's identity being revealed makes it all the more better since the man Ash was admiring turned out to be his father figure all along. Talk about an epic father and son bonding time.
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute, I just heard what he said. Wait, I don't know if I remember the comments you guys told me about that when I saw this AMV. Wait a minute. Wait, that was his actual father? Nah. Let me make sure I heard that right.
Of the Alola League. And Kukui's identity being revealed makes it all the more better since the man Ash was admiring turned out to be his father figure all along.
This is actual dad?
Talk about an epic father and son bonding time.
That's crazy. I thought he never had a dad. I thought his dad was a deadbeat or something. I ain't never know this. Oh, shoot. Alrighty. Good to know.
On to the pacing and character development.
Oh, this is important.
First,
I want to hear about this.
Let's start with Satoshi. After obtaining the Z-Ring in SM2 by way of Tapu Koko, he faced his first Grand Trial with Hala in SM10. If you take a look at Satoshi's other Grand Trial wins, you have Lychee in SM36, Kuchinashi in SM77, and Hapu in SM109. If you look at the episodes within the first year and a half of the series, a decent chunk of those are... Do the thing, Zach.
Oh god, it won't stop!
While Satoshi's trial pacing could have been better, I also felt that there were too many main characters to develop in such a short period of time, and that ended up being the Achilles heel of this series. Some of them either had a gimmick that ended too quickly, like Lily's shyness to Pokemon, or took too long to develop, like Mao's backstory. While the pacing improved by the time the Nebi and Necrozma arc started, there's one thing that sticks out like a sore thumb. Suiden's Popplio evolved twice in a span of 14 episodes without even battling.
What?
I believe this was done intentionally due to Mao and Mamane already having fully evolved Pokemon at that point, and the league was around the corner.
I'm not buying it.
There's a lot more I can go into, but I don't want this to end up being an hour-long video.
I'm not taking that.
I'd like to talk about censorship.
Censorship? What's going on?
Ah, yes.
Wait, is this the one? Because I watched a video on this. Was this the one about the whole they throw in shurikens in the Japanese version, but in English it's like these pink dark things, whatever?
Censorship. Sun and Moon had the most censorship in Western countries since Advanced Generation.
That's
crazy. I'm not talking
Ew.
about the erasing of Japanese text on the Grand Trials or Z-moves. I'm talking about things like Meowth dying in SM12 after it looked under Mimikyu's disguise. While I'm talking about things like Meowth dying in SM12 after it
they just cut it out? Oh,
looked
lame.
under Mimikyu's disguise.
Lame.
Wabafet's soul escaping in SM52.
Oh, come on, that would have been hilarious.
Rockets. Ryuki's shurikens getting changed from metal to plastic, and editing out Serena's dominatrix stomps on other humans in Pokemon. Unlike AG, these edits were done by OLM themselves. The most significant piece of censorship was the skipping of SM64, Satoshi and Passimian, A Touchdown of Friendship, where Satoshi dressed up as a Passimian to assist the
Yep, I can already tell they're gonna think that's blackface, right? They're gonna think that's blackface.
Melee Passimian in a football game. However, the face paint looked offensive enough for TPCI to outright skip this episode.
Oh, that was the mean dodge.
Too bad.
They just skipped the entire episode?
For TPCI to outright skip this episode. Too
Come
bad.
on now.
It was
Come on now. No, nobody would have thought that'd be blackface. Relax. Okay, well. Some weird people would have thought that was blackface, I guess.
I'm gonna pass the baton now to Trey to talk about Satoshi's trial.
I don't like censorship like that.
Other than that one
battle time?
Sun and Moon is the first series where Ash isn't going for gym badges. Instead, he takes on the Alola Trials. And can I say, these battles definitely hold up in terms of animation, great story,
nice. They look
and
nice when I was
awesome
watching
action.
it.
The first two trials against Totem Gumshoes and Hala proved to us that this version of Ash was not reset, as he came up with some awesome strategies and won both of these battles on his first
I'm gonna have to
go.
watch this battle
Next,
right
we have
here.
Akala, which holds many fans' favorite grand trial, including myself, the Olivia battle. I love that Pikachu took a backseat this island to let Litten, Rowlet, and Rockruff shine against Totem Laurentis and Olivia. Ash was put at a disadvantage with Rockruff accidentally knocking out Rowlet, but still managed to pull through for the victory. Ula shined the most in terms of Ash's character development. After being defeated by Nanu, Ash set a goal to work on Lycanroc's Berserk mode and to prove Nanu wrong. Pikachu was also able to shine in the trials again in the epic Pikachu versus Mimikyu showdown.
Battle versus Tail
made the rematch extremely tough for Ash, being a 3v1 and taunted Ash throughout the battle to the point that Lycanroc had to snap some sense back into him so that they could finish the fight. With
Come on, Ash, get your head
being
together. Oh
many
my
fans'
god, what
least
is that?
favorite battle, it makes sense as to why Ash used Pikachu for this fight, considering that he always uses Pikachu for his final gym battle. Many say Ash pulled a Pewter City sprinkler move, but I think this time it was a bit more reasonable, since he was using his surroundings to his advantage, and salt water conducts electricity, making more sense as to how Mudsdale was affected than just regular water. And now I'm gonna pass over to Ben to talk about the other trials in the series.
Let's go, Ben.
Thanks, bro. Also on the topic of water, Wishy Washy was one of the first non-Ash trials, which although it honestly isn't anything amazing in terms of choreography, it did provide a lot of the first major step of development. In fact, all the other trials I'll be discussing here are used to develop a character in some kind of fashion, instead of trying to be all flashy like the main Ash trials, which I think was a nice change of pace to see at time to time. For example, we had Gladion and Lily team up against Komao, which was meant to display their teamwork with their different quirks, Sandshrew, which actually teamed up with Lily to defeat a wild Pokemon to help her understand battles more, and Trevenant, who gifted Ash the Fire UMC for helping him save some Pokemon. The only remaining trial that seems to focus on the best of both worlds is Tapu Fini, where Kiori was tasked with flying all the way from Pony Island to Akala to gift it a skill in return for releasing Ash and his Pokemon. Kiori displaying love for his friends, while we get a surprisingly impressive battle between Kiori and Tapu Lele. But yeah, overall, as you should hopefully see from me and Trey, the trials were a fun new addition to the anime, whilst it developed characters in quite splendid ways.
Sounds nice. Different ways to tell the series, you know. That's interesting, not going for gym badges anymore. Interesting. Hey, they took a gamble. I think it paid off. I think people like it. I think the main complaint is that people don't like the art style of, you know, Ash and some of the characters, which I can understand, especially if you've been watching, like, you know, Pokemon for, like, years and, like, going on here. But so far, the fights, they look great. Oh, we're back. Hold on, I'll talk later. Back a little bit.
Whilst it developed characters in quite splendid ways.
Pew pew! Get it,
Okay.
That was cringe.
The Nebi arc is what many believe to be the turning point of the Sun and Moon anime, as it's the beginning of the major story arcs in the series. Here's where we get introduced to Professor Burnett, Wick, Faba, and the 8th President herself, Lucamine. The series made many changes to the story during this arc than the games, which I love them for doing so much. For starters, Kukui and Burnett have not yet been married. Burnett was a great addition to the cast and really livened up the house. Also, my boy Kukui with the smooth proposal. My man.
Okay. Damn, I'm a smooth man. Hold on, let me double check. Is that his father? Hold on, did he propose? Hold on, wait a minute. I'm looking this up right now on my phone before I continue. Before I mess things up. Wait, that wasn't his father? Wait, he said father figure. Okay, maybe like he saw someone that was like a father figure to him. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna take back what I said before in the past, because I don't think he does have a father figure. I mean, an actual dad. Okay, yeah, I was wrong. I was gonna. Oh wow. Okay, good thing I looked this up, because I was about to. Okay, no, never mind. Again, I know what I said. He is not Ash's dad. We still don't know who Ash's dad is. Okay, so he saw him as a father figure, Professor Kukui. Okay, me 20 minutes ago, looking stupid right now.
Remember the crazy psychopathic loose meme that froze?
Damn, I'm a smooth dude.
And remember the crazy psychopathic loose meme that froze Pokemon for her own pleasures? Yeah, screw that.
What?
Because anime loose meme is the best change.
Okay.
The series
thank you.
Thought.
I didn't know you freezing Pokemon like that.
Actually cares about both of her children here. And yes, while there were many changes to her character, this doesn't change the fact that there are many dysfunctional things about their family. Lucamine is always too busy with work to spend time with Lily and Gladion, and never considers their feelings when making decisions. Literally, the only reason she's showing attention to Lily now is because her friend Ash was chosen to raise a legendary Ultra Beast, Nebi. Which, by the way, let's talk about him for a bit. As a cosmonaut, Nebi was the definition of a baby, as he was always curious, loved candy, and always had fun. Things change, however.
You want this? Not.
Baba seems to play the antagonist in every variant, but here he was definitely the most threatening, putting all of Lily's memories on the line, as well as being the reason that Lucy entered her Mother Beast form. My
That's crazy.
gosh, was that a twist. With
Leave
how
this girl
different
alone.
Lucy's character was, I did not expect to see her ever reach this form in the anime. We got to see a different side of Lily and Gladion in this arc, showing that as dysfunctional their family was, they all still loved and cared for each other deeply. Once Nebi finally becomes the great Sun legendary Solgaleo, the rest of the arc takes place in Nihilego's world, and everyone splits into groups in order to battle against Lucy's Pokemon. The only issue about this, however, is that other than Ash, Gladion, and Kiawe, everyone else was kinda weak, literally having to rely on Ash's other Pokemon to come to their rescue. But besides that, this finale
can have their own wins in this fight.
The Aether family, with Lily expressing her held-in emotions to free her mother from Nihilego with the help of the Pikachu Z. This arc conclusion was also great in setting up many more plots in the series and brought together both Lily and Ash's Alola family. Now I'll pass it on to my bro TSS to tackle one of those setup plots. Ultra Raja!
Who?
So, the Ultra Guardians are a squadron that were formed
Guardians.
by Lusamine to help protect Alola from Ultra Beasts that are coming out of random Ultra wormholes.
Oh, this is about the
Satoshi and
Ultra
his
Beast.
classmates
Okay,
would
where it
descend
came
to a
from.
secret underground area underneath the school while
Power
having a
Rangers?
transformation sequence that wouldn't be out of place in the Super Sentai series. All
Or
it needs
Super
is a theme
Sentai
song
too,
from
yeah.
Psychic Lover to complete the
That was
aesthetic.
before
The
Power
Ultra
Rangers?
Guardians then receive a briefing
I
from
think.
Lusamine, Wick, and Professor Burnett about the Ultra Beast they'll be facing. Then they all take off out of their base on their ride Pokemon in a Thunderbirds-like montage. Interestingly enough, the Alolan executive Arian Waves is a direct homage
Okay, yeah,
to
this is
Thunderbird
definitely-
2's
yeah.
launch
Oh,
sequence.
wait, I don't know what this
Although
is.
the concept of the Ultra Guardians seemed like a great idea on paper, Satoshi and his classmates taking on Ultra Beasts, the execution
Buzzwole! Buzz! My favorite Ultra Beast! Buzz! Okay, what about now?
Ultra Guardians seemed like a great idea on paper, Satoshi and his classmates taking on Ultra Beasts. The execution, however, was very underwhelming.
You not
To
beat
give a brief
Buzz.
summary of most of the Ultra Guardians episodes, Buzzwole wanted to have its own Flex-Off-a-thon,
yeah.
Celesteela wanted to blast off and set ablaze to everything that was surrounding it, we had Michael Jackson versus a short-circuited Christmas tree, where those two Ultra Beasts are outsparking each other while Satoshi becomes handsome. Honey, I Shrunk the Alola Kids, where Faba accidentally turns Satoshi and Lily small and Pikachu sneezes on them. Stakataka gets ticked off when Viron's gold statue is placed on top of it. And Alolan Golem, who has a facial hair contest with a Metang while the Hiker triplets look on.
Like you do.
Formosa, who likes stealing Z crystals while Meowth has a hard-on. And Kartana, who like to slice random objects while sounding like a
anything.
bodily waste product.
It speaks backwards,
Man,
right?
some of these missions were just all over the place. There is a solid two-parter relating to Guzzlord, though.
It sounds like wacky fun, though, maybe.
However, this one wasn't even part of the Ultra Guardians. Very ironic. There is one last mission, however, that has its own entire arc, which I'll be passing over to Ben to talk about.
Wait, there wasn't an arc for Buzzwole? I don't like the show anymore. I don't like the series anymore. Bad series. Least favorite series. No arc for Buzzwole. Can't do it.
Thanks, TSS.
Buzzwole needs his own 24
we are,
arc.
Of course, referencing the Crozma Rock. Which I
Crozma
actually
arc, huh?
specifically
Okay.
asked Zach if I could speak about this, as I do love my Sun and Moon themes. Which
Alright.
this arc is probably the best arc outside of the Alola League to demonstrate those themes. Aight, so before I get into why I love this arc, the gist of the Necrozma arc is that Necrozma lost its true form saving Poipo's world, and it wakes up angry one day looking for light to receive its true form once again. Which the Ultra Guardians and Nippy, who returns alongside the Lunana, are tasked with battling it so it doesn't cause any damage. Eventually, however, they learn the truth once going to Poipo's world, in which they then decide to get everybody in Alola to share their Z power to Necrozma to help it regain its true form. Which successfully works. This all being held on a day called the Minalo Festival as well, where all of Alola comes together anyway to pray to the Light Trail, who was said to create Alola. Alright, so in the long run, I will admit, this doesn't really sound as exciting as the Nebula
Yeah, it doesn't sound
or
like it
any
is.
other anime adaptation arc for that matter. But I'd say that's pretty much the point though. What the writers wanted to do here is display all of the Alola themes in one big arc. AKA friendship, family, care, sharing, and receiving.
Hanami's family.
All of us
Hanami's
here
family.
find
Come
that
on now.
so beautiful. Manolo, the name of the festival, even means you and I are living here together. With what Sun and Moon wants to be this Necrozma arc is a perfect arc for the series. And even if most of the arc is exposition, we did still receive some awesome action scenes here and there anyway. Such as the entirety of episode 88 where they battled Necrozma, and episode 89 where Kukui battled for Team Rocket admin. Yeah, Team Rocket are also in this arc, because apparently Giovanni somehow knows about Necrozma from being friends with Nanu.
He knows everything. He knows everything,
which,
I guess.
It never gets explained how they met Necrozma from being friends with Nanu in the past.
Oh, in the past, okay.
It never gets explained how they met, which is unfortunate. And honestly, Team Rocket could have been done a little bit better overall too.
Gotcha.
To wrap up this section on the Necrozma arc though, this arc wasn't just dedicated to Necrozma, but also Poipo as well. It finding its way back home after it had been sent to Alola to have someone restore light back to its world. Meaning, Ash had to release it as its true family was right here.
R.I.P.
Which, although this was a very depressing scene, our one other con for this arc would be that its release also felt a bit rushed for no good reason. Like literally, Lusamine says the wormhole is closing, so we need to leave quick. But like, Nebby can make wormholes, so...
we can talk more, right?
But,
we can talk.
You know what? Nevertheless,
that's nice
even
right
with the
there, that
negatives
drawing.
there, overall, this arc was still fantastic for each of us, and definitely a unique way to adapt the Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon story.
Okay.
I think something's wrong with my horse.
Yep, your horse is flying. Alright, we're back. Now, before we continue the video, let me just say some things real quick. So, this was about fighting Ultra Beast, but then Necrozma was like the main, looks like the main, like, okay, this is getting crazy arc right there. Like, go ahead, going to different wormholes. We found the world of the purple Pokemon, the Ultra Beast Pokemon that Ash had. I had a good farewell session. They had a whole Hanami's family to give the light, or give power back to Necrozma. Nice, okay, nice. So I see now, yeah, after watching, like, what was it, over 40 minutes, almost 40 minutes of this review, I see what the direction is for this series, and I'm not mad at it. I can see why others so far might be, might not like this series compared to the other Pokemon series, because, it's like kind of like a difference. But I still rock with it. I think it's still pretty cool. Let's keep it going. Oh wait, I lied. I haven't muted. Let's keep it going.
The Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon story.
And now that brings us to the biggest and most important arc in the series. The Alola League.
Oh, the Alola League.
Man,
yes.
where do I begin with this? When
good?
the series first started and we saw that Ash was going to go to school, the idea that the anime would adapt the Alola League seemed extremely unlikely. But boy was that wrong. Although the series lacked direction in the first season, once the league was finally mentioned in episode 43, it would then begin to change Sun and Moon for the better. Now, obviously, what made the second half stand out is the fact that it finally gives us the Ash Ketchum Pokemon League win we've all been waiting for. That alone would have been it, honestly. But not only did we get that, but we also got this gargantuan 17-episode league arc that developed all of our major characters.
Okay.
One of the gripes of this league is the fact that anyone can enter, but that's the reason the league turned out so good. The goal of this league wasn't only about crowning Alola's first champion, but it was also meant to help all the participating trainers and Pokemon grow together. This is so in line with Alola's themes. Because of that, this league wasn't just about Ash, but it was about his amazing friends he got to know within the series. His rivals, his enemies, everyone in Alola was involved.
Hey,
because
let's get
of this, for the first time, we got to see every single league battle, and even got amazing moments like Mallow mastering her Z move, Lily showing off her progress as a trainer, a goofy Jesse and James battle, Sophocles
they fought each other. I want to watch that.
Giving it his all against Kiawe sparking a new rivalry with Gladion.
Okay.
And then there's your boy Guzma with Team Skull. His goal is to end the league, so he's literally the antithesis of everything Alola stands for. This made the league so much more interesting, as now Ash is fighting to protect the values he's learned to love. Going back to Ash though, he's actually the one that gets the most development out of anyone else here. Not only does he defeat all of his rivals here, but his team develops throughout the entire league to finish off as one of his best and strongest. Then once it's all said and done, we wrap things up with an epic 4-part battle against Professor
Four-part battle?
Ash's Alolan father figure. Oh yeah, and he also beats the legendary Tapu Koko as well.
Yep,
I could not think of a better way to end things off. Our boy straight up proves that he's the strongest trainer in Alola, a true Chad champion.
And so, with the Alola League out of the way,
you gotta praise that one. You gotta praise that. Let's talk about the ending.
Which definitely was an emotional one. While
wrap it up. Wrap it up great.
Have learned and how they can develop next in a wondrous way. So, after Ash had become the Alola champion, he was stuck figuring out what to work towards next.
Right.
However, eventually after Olivia talks about how the world can broaden your view on life, Ash agrees with this due to how he came to love and appreciate Alola's surroundings, then deciding that he wants to keep exploring the world to admire the rest of its beauty, while then hopefully finding the next answer to reach his Pokemon
Makes leaving his
Master
second
goal.
home. Gotcha.
Which honestly is probably my favorite way they've ever continued Ash's character. Not only because it displays how Alola has beautifully changed how he appreciates life, but also because in past series, Ash would usually find out about a brand new region after the league with its own set of gyms. And then, boom, he's gone
there,
right
yeah,
to
next
it.
time a new beginning,
It was starting to get repetitive and boring. But this time, he's going anywhere he wants, looking for an answer himself this time around. Which is such a nice change of pace, and of course fits well for Journeys as a series where Ash can go visit every region. Ash's goodbye to his Alolan family after this revelation was extremely emotional, which does add points to this ending as well. As for Team Rocket, as usual, they get called back by HQ to show their progress. Honestly, there's no other way they could really write Team Rocket out of a region, so I'm okay with this. However, this is the first time since a decade they ended up releasing their Pokemon. Simply because, much like Ash's Pokemon, Alola is their home. They don't want to
That
take
makes
back
okay.
away
That makes
from
sense.
them.
That makes
They've
sense.
come so far.
Especially with how the theme of Alola is, family thing, portion thing, and being here. I understand why they didn't want to leave where these Pokemon been growing up at.
If I
Or
could
why the Pokemon didn't want to leave with them.
I could feel a tear once to fall as Beware hugged them goodbye softly. It knowing Team Rocket have developed in a magical way as well since staying with it. But then Johnny's had to f it up. Finally for Ash's
I'm
companions,
sorry.
As I said, Lily decides to go search for her father, which as a Lily stan, the goodbye scene hurt incredibly. Kiyomi decides to become a Kahuna, which is excellent progression. Sophocles
That's nice.
decides to visit Moss Deep City for a space camp. I just wish we got to see something like that on screen though. Lana decides to go search for Manaphy with her father, which is okay as it's summer vacation I guess. But like, Mallow is now left all alone at her restaurant.
Dang. What happened to the
Even
whole family
Shaman
thing?
ditched her.
Dang.
Which I kinda don't like this. I mean, it did make it more sad.
The one that had your mom eyes? That's
and
crazy.
Everyone does come back eventually, but
Yay?
still, I feel like she was done a bit dirty here.
She was.
And that wraps up all the major elements of the Sun and Moon anime. Time for the final verdict. And after
Well, he says the final word. I think he might say this was a really great episode, a great series that people might be overhating a little bit. That's what I think he might say. Because so far, I didn't hear any too many negatives. I know in the beginning there was some heavy fillers. I think a lot of fillers between Ash is going for the trials, I believe. That the art style is kind of, you see it right here. It's kind of weird. If you watch the other Pokemon, you watching this what's going on here? I'm trying to think of some other points. A couple of the characters might not have been developed as well as the others, but that's in all the other series kind of. Well, oh, that's right. He said there's less fighting, less action, less battles than the other series. So if you guys like Pokemon battles, then I can see why this might be also a complaint that you would get for this show, which I can understand. Also, the 3D, the way the battles happen. I mean, I like how the battles look, but again, they don't have the 3D cameras anymore in Sun and Moon. So if you like the 3D cameras, that's gone. I guess if you're gonna put that as a complaint. But overall, I think this is a really great series, great review.
After watching every single episode, I can confidently say that in my opinion, Sun and Moon is a great series. Now it's funny, because I actually really hated Sun and Moon back in the day.
Oh, and the
Coming
comedy
fresh
gags
off
too,
of X, Y,
yeah, the
and
comedy
Z, I
gags.
was turned off by the art style and comedy. And
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of us were
at
the
that
same
point.
way. But boy am I glad I gave it a chance. Now sure, it is a huge departure from what we're used to when it comes to a Pokemon series, but that
Right.
doesn't mean it was bad. After 20 years of the same formula, they wanted to shake things up to stay fresh.
Very
And
understandable,
you know
very
what?
understandable.
I'm
I
kinda
respect
glad
that.
they did.
I
Although it's
respect
not what
that.
I personally look for in a Pokemon series, I actually walked away absolutely loving Sun and Moon. This kind of relates back to what I said in the Black and White review, about enjoying things for what they are instead of judging them for what they aren't. If we stop comparing it to XY so much, or any other series for that matter, you'll be able to enjoy all the wonderful things this series has to offer. Like Ben, I've really come to love all the themes of Alola that stay present all throughout the series, like family and friendship.
Gotta
It's
give it that
so
second
damn
view,
wholesome.
that second
It's themes that have
anime
always been a
watch view.
constant for the Pokemon franchise, but are the most prominent and pivotal to this series. My absolute favorite element thanks to this series is Ash's Alolan family. Not only was Ash living with Professor Kukui, but we also get Kukui proposing to Burnett, getting married to Burnett, and giving Ash an Alolan mom. I love Nidelia, but damn is Burnett an awesome mother figure. We also see Ash letting his Pokemon be out of their Pokeballs more often and just letting them chill around the house like
That's
their pets,
true.
they're part of the family too.
Doesn't happen like that.
I love this. These are elements that would have been lost if Sun and Moon was a travel series like XY. We wouldn't build such strong relationships with these people in Pokemon, and we wouldn't be nearly as invested in all of the characters as well. And of course, this is the series where Ash finally won a league, but I guarantee you that it wouldn't be as satisfying without Alola's themes. So in conclusion, although Sun and Moon wasn't what I was expecting from a Pokemon series, nor is it my favorite, it's definitely the one I've had the most fun with. And I don't know about you, but that sounds like a pretty great series to me.
That sounds great to me.
Thanks everyone for watching my review of the Sun and Moon anime. Huge thanks to Trey, TSS, and Ben for joining me. And as always, shout out to Spire and Silver Storm for their awesome music. Check them all out if you haven't already. Last but not least, make sure to live your life to the fullest and have yourself a damn good one.
Also, right here, you probably can't see because I'm blocking it, but Luminous Trainer Zach, I think he changed his Instagram handle and Twitter handle too. I think it's Toshi now, Zach Toshi. But that was fun. Let me let it play out some more. That play out too while we're at it. There we go. That was really fun. I really enjoyed this review because I was going in like, all right, I don't know what to expect. He might be saying like there's some crazy stuff. Like, oh, I don't like this show. There's too much. The art style too weird. I didn't know about the comedy portion, which I can understand. I'll get a little. Again, I don't like forced comedy is not good. Like the whole overreaction and facial expressions. It works in some animes, but it depends on the anime. But I'm glad that they toned it back a little bit later on, so you know, that's good. That's good because some of the faces were funny. It's just like if I were to see that every single episode, I might get sick of it too. If I were to watch this again, yeah, like I mentioned before, great battles, great character work, some good arcs, good characters. I mentioned that already. Just yeah, it was a great show. Great show. Zach said it was his most fun show he had to watch. Pleasure to watch again. So that's saying something too. That is saying something. Whoa, why are we going to Pokemon Journeys? Whoa, let's not do that now. We're saving that. We're saving that one. I'm trying to think right now. So we have watched 6 out of the 7 Pokemon reviews. I think from this reviews alone, I think, shoot. Honestly, it's between either X and Y or Diamond and Pearl, which one's my favorite. Just from hearing from the reviews. I like Diamond and Pearl, like the character work, but I like the battles in XY a lot. I like my battles. I think there's some like complaints too in XY. I don't know. I have to watch those 2 again. But I can confidently say that Sun and Moon might be my 3rd favorite review so far. Now, we watched some battles from Journeys, so that might change depending on what Journeys has to offer. So we'll see maybe in a week time whenever we watch the last one. But no, this is fun. This is really fun. And I'm gonna stop talking because I know this might be like an hour-long reaction. So let me just, yeah, I've been recording over for an hour already. So let me stop talking right now. We're gonna get out of here. Just want to say thank you, Zektoshi, or Luminous Trainer Zach at this time. Thank you for the work, the hard work you guys put into this. Yeah, I learned a lot. Oh, I forgot about the censorship he added in here too. I mean, that wouldn't bother me too much. I mean, it sucked, but it wouldn't bother me too much. Yeah, but again, this was fun. This is a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Let's get out of here so I can edit this video and maybe upload it today. It's currently like 9:20 p.m. on a Sunday, so we'll see if we can upload it later today. Oh yeah, but hope you enjoyed my reaction and thank you for watching. My cup of tea is out of here. This is everybody. But the one thing I remember the most from Sun and Moon, like the battles we watched, was definitely that Lana versus Guzma fight. When that Pokemon Lana had, shut up. I'm like, oh dear heavens, no, stop trying to sing. No, he's not gonna let you do it.